Good evening, all.
Assalamu alaikum.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, very good evening. You have to excuse me, I have a bad throat. Okay, so yeah, let's start. So is the slide visible? The presentation is visible?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Okay, fine. So, starting from today, so our next few sessions would be on supply chain management. You would have heard about what is logistics and how it is more related to supply chain. So, what is the correlation between logistics and supply chain? Are they
Hello,
interdependent or
good evening, ma'am.
yeah, very good evening.
You are
Yes.
not audible.
So, yeah, I have a back throat problem. Is it okay now? Is this better?
Yes, ma'am, it's better now.
Yeah, it's quite
Yeah,
better now.
okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so logistics and supply chain management, they are no like correlated with each other. They are very much connected to each other because logistics is part of supply chain. Logistics, we know it refers overall it refers to transportation, that is the movement of goods from its origin to its destination. And supply chain is no like it involves all the activities right from planning for the product. That is no like working out on no like which product or service to be given to the customers or introduced to the market. So right from planning stage, the supply chain starts. The process of supply chain starts. So once the planning is done, then no like the organization, the company decides about how to go with the procurement process. So for procuring the raw materials, they have to know select the right kind of vendors, the suppliers of the raw materials, and then once no like that is no like finalized, so the raw materials are no like transported to the production unit or the manufacturing unit or the assembly unit. So in case of assembly units, the products what you purchase from the vendors would be a semi-finished product. So this is spare parts and not the pure raw materials. For example, if you're a car manufacturer, or if you have a car assembly unit, a two-wheeler assembly unit, a bike assembly unit, in this case, you need spare parts to arrange everything so it becomes a whole product. So you won't be purchasing the steel plate, for assembling the bike or a car. So you'll be purchasing a spare part, which is like already produced and and is readily available with the vendor. So once the production is done, and you will be deciding that there's no like the supply chain, the player, the organization will be deciding what kind of production method has to be done on that product. So there are various production methods. You can go for like one-time production, or you can go for batch production. So batch production, in the sense, you're not you're not sticking onto this economy of scale in production. You're sticking into batch production. That is, you're producing the products in batches and not in one go, not in the maximum. So once that production is done, again you have to move the products into the to the warehouse or to the store. So where it rests for some time before the order is placed by the customer. So even when the product is within the production unit or within the warehouse, there are a lot of movement is happening. So in the production house, the product moves from one zone to another zone, or one machinery to another machinery, and finally comes out as a complete product. Same happens in warehouse, but the process is little different. Here the product moves from one location to another location within the warehouse for various processes. And these processes can be, like the scanning or for quality checking and for packing, packaging, barcode scanning. So for all these, things to be carried out, products within the warehouse will be moved from one location to another location. So within the supply chain, okay, where does the supply chain end then? So supply chain ends once you get feedback from your customers. But most of the, top play, I mean, most of the players in this industry think that no. So supply chain ends when the product is finally distributed or sold to the consumer or the customers. No, it doesn't end there. So you have to get the feedback from the customers regarding your product and regarding your service, and you have to work on the next batch of products based on the feedback you got from your customers. So supply chain, it's not a linear chain of processes or stages of the process, but supply chain is a network, it's like a like a cycle chain, it's a network. So you will be involving with the vendors, that is raw material providers. You will be dealing with the transportation providers. You will be associated with the warehouse providers, the production units. In case if you don't have your own production unit, that is no, if your organization doesn't have an own production unit, you have to know outsource that activity to the another company or a manufacturing unit. So you'll be dealing with the production houses, and you will be, again associated dealing with the, the marketing channels, that is, the distributors or the wholesalers, retailers. So all these people. You have commission agents and brokerage agents. And finally, you'll be, associated with the customers and consumers. So there is a big difference between customers and consumers. Customers are those who resell your product. So they may not be finally consuming your product. It may be not for their own personal use, but they may be reselling your product. So that group of individuals are called as customers. And the group of individuals who use the product finally, that is no, who consume the product, who make use of the product, so they are regarded as the consumers. So that's the difference between customers and consumers. So in case if you're planning to sell your products through offline market, then you will be dealing with the wholesalers, retailers, distributors. So here, these wholesalers, retailers, distributors will be your customers and not the consumers. But when individuals get the products directly from those, that is your products directly from those wholesalers, retailers, and distributors, then those individuals become the final consumers of your product. So it's a no like a cycle chain. It's a no like a spherical chain, and it's not a linear chain. The supply chain process, it's a cycle chain process. So like it's a like a kind of a network, no, and no like each and every party is connected with each other. And not only with these entities, you will be dealing with the uh, port officials. If you are not an exporter of your products, so you have to deal with the port officials, and you have to deal with the customs officials, because any product which is subject to export or import has to undergo the custom clearance process. So you have to undergo, and you will be associating with the custom officials. So with these many players, your company, that is your supply chain company, will be associated with. So what is a supply chain? It's a system of organizations or people or activities, information and resources involved in moving a product or service from supplier to customer. And these activities, it transforms the raw materials and components into a finished product that is delivered to the end customer. You can take it as end consumer. So the supply chain comprises of the manufacturers, warehouses, distribution centers, and retail outlets, retail facilities, and you have no like you have to work out with there are no like few things you have to work out with. That is, you have to work out with the raw materials. So raw materials can be no like purchased in no like as different processes. That is no like, if you see, I mean, there is a requirement of raw materials. I mean, up to this quantity there should be a level of raw materials for which you are purchasing, because you cannot go on purchase the raw materials and no like stock it in your warehouse for no reason at all. Sometimes the price of the raw materials may go down, and that may initiate or induce the buyers of the no raw materials to know like buy more. So there has to be a control in the purchase of raw materials, because everything no like in everything cost is involved. So whatever raw materials you have purchased, so that has to be, like it has to undergo the production process, and that has to be, like packed, packaged, and it has to be sent to the customers. And once the stock is ready, that is now once the finished product is ready, you can have a buffer inventory or a buffer stock, or no the safety stock kind of a thing, or you can have the cycle stock. So for no like in for in case of no like emergency needs. Otherwise, make use of the raw materials what you have purchased. Try to know like convert the raw materials into products at the earliest and send it to the, that is, sell it to the customers. And you will be like working out on work in process inventory. So work in process inventory is nothing but the inventory which has to undergo or which is undergoing the production process. And then you would have to deal with the finished product. That is like how you are going to manage or safeguard, how you are going to pack and keep ready the finished product, so that like whenever the customer demands, immediately you can retrieve it from the warehouse shelf and you can ship it to them. So supply chain companies, like it has like it has to work out on all these things, so that they have to deal with the suppliers, manufacturers, warehouses, distribution centers, retail outlets, facilities, raw materials, working process, finished products. So in case of like your as a supply chain or as a production house, or as a like a manufacturer, if you want to sell your products through online, so you will be like not depending on any of the wholesalers or retailers in the offline market. Instead, you will be like dealing with the online retailers. So online retailers, we already know we have like n number of like online retailers like eBay and Flipkart. You have Amazon. So all these people, what they do is just retailing through online. So they are running the e-commerce business. So this is how the let me mute the audio. I think Mr. Ashwin, you have to mute the audio. Okay, fine. So the supply chain, how it works is it starts with planning, then sourcing of the raw materials, and once that is sourced, the raw materials are transported to the production unit, and from production unit, once it is like the manufacturing is done, it's again transported or transferred, moved to the warehouses, and from there, once a customer has placed an order, so it would be again moved to the offline market. Or in case if the company is like planning for online sales, the customer sees the catalog of the products available in the warehouse, just as we see the catalog of products available in Amazon, in like Tata New, whatever. So that would be the list of products that is available with them in their warehouses. So the customer places the order, then now the product will be directly transported to the customers or the consumers without any the indulgence of the wholesalers or distributors. So this is a complete network, as I told, like this is not a linear chain process. This is a network process. The completely everything is interdependent on every that is like every entity. So suppliers are dependent on no like uh the manufacturing units, because that's how they can make the profit by selling their raw materials. And again, vice versa. The that is the production units are dependent on the raw material suppliers. And no, like you can see manufacturers are again dependent on the transportation, and they are dependent on the the inventory inventory supporters, and they are dependent on the warehouse and distribution centers. If the manufacturers don't have their own warehouse or transportation, they have to outsource that to the they have to outsource that to the external agencies, the other outside agencies. So in this case, they are called as third party logistic providers. So who are 3PL providers in the market? Third party logistic providers, or those who support the production company with warehouse and transportation. And 2PL providers, that is second party logistic providers, or those agencies or organizations or companies who provide only the transportation support to the production unit. So 2PL or the transportation providers, 3PL or the warehouse and transportation providers. You have 4PL, 5PL. We can like discuss about this later on. Okay, it deals with linking the organizations. It deals with linking the organizations within the supply chain in order to meet demand across the chain as efficiently as possible. So the complete supply chain process, no, it relies on two factors, two important factors, that is demand and supply. So based on the demand forecast done by the organization, the supply of materials is essential for the company. And based on the supply, the product, no, like the demand for a product, no, it may increase or decrease. So that is again a kind of a marketing strategy followed by these production companies. So if they see that a product is in no like high demand in the market, they can go with two strategies, sales strategies. One is they can produce more quantities of the product which are highly in demand, and try to make out the profit within a short period of time. Say, produce maximum, sell it no like sell maximum to the customers who are in no need of the products. So within 2 to 3 months, meet the profit. So this would be their strategy. Or they may follow other strategy where what they can do is they can no like limit the number of products no which they are no like selling to the customers. So that the customer, so that no the demand is no like artificially no like increased, artificially no like induced the demand for a product. So when the customers are no like in very much need of the product, so say out of 100 customers, only 10 to 15 customers are no like purchasing the product, and the remaining 85 no like don't get the product, but they like the product, they want to purchase the product. In this case, the companies or the units can hold back the products, then increase the price of the product, then sell it to the customers. This is another strategy usually the company follows. So two factors, it depends on, that is supply and demand. So how this demand can be analyzed, how this demand can be like assessed. So proper forecasting techniques, with the proper forecasting techniques, by following qualitative, quantitative, and everything, statistical analysis, the overall demand for a product, that will be calculated, then accordingly the raw materials would be purchased. So any company just go on with purchasing the raw material with a vague idea of how much the customers would be purchasing, how many units the customers would be purchasing, or how many customers would be purchasing our product. So a proper forecasting has to be done before starting of the supply chain process. So what you get from forecasting is, first you get to know what type of product the customer is asking for. And does that product know like whether it satisfies the need of the customer, or it gives a solution to a problem which is already existing in the market. So in both ways, like you can give a product or give a service. So either it has to satisfy the need of the customer, or it has to give a solution to a problem which is not existing in the market or existing in the society. So in either way, you can come up with an idea, you can come up with the technology, or you can come up with a product, you can come up with the service. So based on the forecasting demand, by doing a forecasting. So you'll get to know what type of product or service, you can give to the customers. And the second one is you can decide on in which geographical area the customers would be more. So you can fix your target market. You can fix your target customers based on the age. Like usually, demographic characters, decides the increase or decrease in sales. For example, uh, take these electronic items. So who purchases electronic items? To the most, mostly, people in the age group of 16 to 45 or 50. So within this age group, usually the electronic items is purchased more, because below 17 or 16, so any child would be completely dependent on the parents. So they would not be knowing, even if they are interested, they won't be having any sometimes there may be restrictions for them to purchase any this these electronic items. Then after 45 or 50, obviously, you will lose interest in these electronic items. So your demand or your likings, that would get shifted to something else. But you won't be much interested in electronics, purchasing electronics and filling your house with all electronic products after 45 or 50. So this is how the supply, that is the demand, is analyzed based on the demographic conditions, and based on the customer buying pattern, and based on the how much the customers would be ready to spend for buying the product, how much they can. So depends on the income level. That is depends on the salary what they are getting, or the the income what they are getting. So if the customer is very getting a an income of 2 lakhs and above per month, maybe this person will be mostly going for the luxury products. Even this person will not be going for the normal products, the cheap products, which are available in the market. Always this person goes for some kind of a luxury products. Whereas, a group of people whose income, it's around 20 to 30,000 per month, and that income may give them the the facility of satisfying their the basic needs like rent, food, electricity. So this is more than enough. So this group of individuals may not be going for luxury products. So this is how the demand is forecasted. Or otherwise, through market, the through questionnaires, through any of the research, question by by giving any asking them to fill out any research questionnaires, or by interviewing them, you can get to know what their taste is. So accordingly, you can go for planning a product. And once that is planned, after deciding the target market and target customer, then you can go for procurement of raw materials. So if you are forecasting only around 5,000 to 10,000 customers would be probably buying your products, so you have to purchase the raw materials accordingly, and not too much or not too less. So that is how we have to plan each and everything, the whole process. Okay, so why is supply chain management so important? To gain efficiencies from procurement, distribution, and logistics. So, to get an efficiency. So, efficiency in procurement, efficiency in distribution, and logistics, that is transportation. So, there should be no lagging at all. The lead time, that is the time taken between the placement of an order and the delivery of the order, delivery of the product. That is called the lead time. So that should be, like minimum for any product or any service the company is, like giving to its customer. So if you make it to the minimum, the customers will be happy about your product and service. But if you like go for maximum lead time, the lengthy lead time, obviously the customers will not be satisfied at all. They may be moving to your competitor's product. To make outsourcing more efficient. So getting to know what resources the company is having, the organization is having, they can decide on whether to go with their own warehouses or they have to outsource the warehousing activity to an external party. Same applies with the transportation as well. To reduce transportation costs of inventories. So following the economy of scale principle, that is not transporting bulk products in one go, you can cut down minimize the transportation cost, carrying cost. So to reduce the transportation cost. To meet competitive pressures from shorter development times, more new products and demand for more customization. So everything now is dependent on the customers' needs and wants. Why? Because customer is king. So without customer, there is no need for the organization to go on with all the supply chain process. There has to be someone to use your product, that is buy the product, right? So without customers, no, this is all sheer waste of time and energy. So understand the customer's needs, understand what their like basic requirements is. What do they expect, as a company, what do they expect from you? Or no, like they are just wanting to buy the product since you have like made your company as a branded one. So what is the reason why the customer has to buy from you? So you have to think about it. And no, like more new products and demand for more customization. You may be having few customers who are asking for customized products. There is no like product specially designed for them. So you have to like understand their needs, and if they are ready to spend little more than the normal cost of the product, go with customization. To meet the challenge of globalization and longer supply chains. So if you're no like if your company, if it is a supply chain industry, I mean if it is a supply chain company or if you're a logistic company just providing only the transportation service, so that doesn't no like matter. But if you can cut down the supply chain time, the time taken from procurement to final delivery of the product. No, if you can cut down the time, so that makes the whole process more efficient. To meet the new challenges from e-commerce. So there is more competitions, like going up. So now, no, like for past 7 to 8 years, many new e-commerce companies have boomed, especially in countries like developing countries like India, Bangladesh, like China, and in Indonesia. So many e-commerce companies have come. So no, you have to like stay in the competitive zone. You have to like move ahead. You should have a competitive advantage in the industry, in the market. So you have to go with the challenges to manage the complexities of supply chain. So supply chain, obviously, the whole process is like full of complexities. As I said, it's an extensive process, like very intensive and extensive process. So it doesn't end with like in one, in one, what do you say, in one activity or one phenomenon. It doesn't end there. So even after getting the customer's feedback, you can't let it go just like that. You can't ignore it and go with the same pattern of producing, same pattern of like giving the same product and same service. Then what is the use of getting the customer feedback? Based on the feedback, you have to change the idea of the product, according to their need, according to their expectations. To manage the inventories needed across the supply chain, you may be needing lot of inventories. So inventories here, it means when you take specifically only the production unit or warehouse, so inventory, it refers to only the materials available for production or semi-finished materials or a finished product. So inventory refers to the products, whether it is in raw material, whether it is no existing as a raw material or whether it is in the semi-finished condition or as a finished condition, that doesn't mind. So inventory just like relates to the materials. But if you take in in aspect of accounting terms, inventory means all the physical units in the organization are considered as inventory, including the manpower. Including the manpower, it's actually inventory, which is like directly contributing to the profit of the company. So if you want to know, like if you want to become known an expert in the supply chain industry, if your company wants to gain a competitive advantage, if you have to cut down, if you want to cut down the lead time, cut down the market time, and cut down the longer supply chain process, and you have to meet the global challenges that is like going on with like international markets, competing with international companies, and like taking your local market to international market. So for all these things, like you have to know the supply chain process thoroughly. Okay, so supply chain drivers. The first is logistical and second one is cross-functional. So which drives the whole process? The first one is inventory and transportation and facilities. So facilities we have already seen, no, like facilities like the warehouse location, the production unit location, the capacity of the warehouse, that is how much inventory it can hold, or take the production unit, how much machineries and manpower it can hold. So this comprises, no, this serves as a drive for the logistical factor. When it comes to cross-functional, so it is the information, sourcing, and pricing. So information is nothing but like wherever the products are being moved, along with that, information related to the product is also moved, is also transported. So from the procurement of the raw materials, right from that point, or even before that, right from the planning stage, information related to the product that also gets moved or transported along with the product. And technology, new ideas, knowledge about the product, everything moves along with the product. So then is the sourcing. So you have to know, like, source the know the raw material providers, source the raw materials, know where it is available. So which quality raw material would you like to know, like, go for, and how much quantity you need, and how much it will take for transporting those raw materials to your factory location. So where is the nearest, raw material providers available for for your organization? So all these things, like you have to get to know. So these things, like drive the whole supply chain process. There is a number of, like the quantity of inventory you procure or you have in hand, the transportation facility, whether you have your own transportation or you're outsourcing it, and the facilities, that is, know what facilities you have in your organization. And the cross-functional drivers are information, sourcing, and pricing. So pricing, who's going to do this pricing for the product? Is it the production house or is it the warehouse? Okay, so there is a hint in this. If the production house owns warehouse. That is, if the production house has its own warehouse, the management of the production house decides the price of the product. On the other hand, if the warehouse is a separate entity and they are purchasing it from the production houses and then reselling it to the customers, in that case, the warehouses can fix the price for the product. So take examples of these online retailers, Amazon, and you have this Flipkart, Tata New, eBay. So what these people do is they purchase it from the providers, that is not the suppliers of the products. They purchase it. And once a product has reached the warehouse, or reached the warehouse of Amazon or reached the warehouse of Flipkart, these people know like fix the price of the product. The original price may be something different. But these people, they fix the product depending upon various factors, that is, like storage cost, transportation cost, distribution cost, and based on these factors, they fix the price. So pricing can be done by either parties. So responsiveness and efficiency are the other two drivers. Because responsiveness is uh, how the customers are responding to your products, responding to your service, and how you as a company, as an organization, are responding to customers' queries and feedback. So both these aspects, it matters. So the responsiveness. So how your company is responding to the the demand from the customer. So you have done the research, you have done the market research. Now we have got the results. Now you have forecasted the demand. So what response you are going to give it to that, give to it. So how we are going to plan everything. So it completely depends on the responsiveness part. So both from the company side as well as from the customer side. Then is the efficiency. So efficiency is a very important factor which is vital for any supply chain process. It's vital actually. So if there is no efficiency, things would go in chaos. Like things would be complete confusion. Lot of products will get damaged. It will get decayed in case of perishable goods, and the products will be mishandled by the manpower or by the forklift operators. So if there is no efficiency followed in any of the supply chain process, then the final quality of the product which is delivered to the consumer, that will not be, the standard will not be met. So these two drivers are also more important in supply chain. Okay, so let's come to the inventory. As I said, inventory, it refers to raw materials and the semi-finished goods as well as the finished goods. And the unique thing about the term product, that is quite interesting, because you cannot mention the product as product in all the supply chain activities. The name of the product, it keeps on changing, in various activities. So in one activity, the product is mentioned as different name, called as different. And in another activity of supply chain, the product is called as different. For example, when the product is in the procurement stage, it is called as raw materials, right? You cannot say it as a product. It's raw material actually, the resource, raw material. So once it is moved to the production house, and there in the production house, it is mentioned as an inventory, or if it is undergoing the production process, it is called as the work in progress or work in process inventory. Now it has another name. The product has another name, work in process or work in progress inventory. So once the process is completed, or when the product is in the semi-finished condition, it's mentioned as semi-finished product or semi-finished goods. When it has completed the production, it's called as the complete products or finished goods, or otherwise called as stock. Stock always refers to the finished goods. Stock doesn't refer to the raw materials. Stock doesn't mean semi-finished goods. Stock always means finished goods. Only inventory, it refers to raw materials, semi-finished products, and finished goods. So now the product has another name as stock, because now it is in the finished condition, completed condition. So there is no further processing required. And when this stock is moved to or purchased by the manufacturers and retailers, and they are displayed on in their outlets for ready for sale. So this stock is called as merchandise. That is, the product is now mentioned as merchandise, because now it's now ready for sale in the wholesalers outlet or the retailers outlet. So that's mentioned as merchandise. Okay, when it is being transported, whether domestically or internationally, when the product is being transported, again, it is not mentioned as product, but it is mentioned as a goods or cargo. So now it has another name. Product has another name, goods or cargo. And when this goods or cargo is sent in bulk quantities especially for international shipments, so this is called as this total arrangement of, sending the product, that is sending the whole cargo or the, the goods, so that is called consignment. The business arrangement is called consignment or is called the shipment. So product has various names in the supply chain process. You cannot mention the term product in all the supply chain process. Okay. So let's come back. What is inventory? Raw materials, work in process, finished goods, and supplies required for creation of company goods and services. So everything comes under inventory. But as I said, in accounting terms or in the official terms, inventory means all the physical units. That is the the assets of the company. That is the land, the building, the furniture, the stationery, the computer systems, the manpower, and all the files, documents, including the products, and all the AC units, everything, all the physical units, it comes under inventory. But here inventory is raw materials, work in process, or finished goods only when this inventory is in production house or in the warehouse. The number of units and or value of the stock of goods held by the company. So why? It exists because of mismatch in demand and supply and to support a firm's competitive strategy. So based on the number of quantities, that is the quantity of inventory the company is holding, we can say the company is doing good or doing bad. If the company is strong in inventory, it means they are doing good. They've already planned for it. They know how much inventory they want to keep in hand, and they are quite good in that. So the company is also doing good. But if the inventory is too much for a company, say the buyer has bought the raw materials in bulk quantities more than required, just because the cost of the raw materials has gone down. So in that case, unwanted investment has happened there. There is no need for acquiring and keeping hold of too much of inventory. So what happens then? There will be a pressure to produce more, and there will be a pressure to sell more products. Whatever is produced, there will be a pressure to sell more products. And any company which has a lesser inventory will miss the opportunity of making the profit. And then the impact of the inventory is on material flow time. So on material flow time is how it flows in each and every process in the supply chain. So the inventory what you have purchased initially, that is the raw materials, so that quantity will not be the same one it has been once it has been converted into the finished goods. So totally everything changes. That the size, the capacity, the volume, everything changes. So for example, if you're purchasing 1,000 units of inventory, 1,000 units of raw material, it doesn't mean you will be producing exactly 1,000 units of the stock. So completely it's going to be a different one. Either excessive or sometimes just below 1,000. So that is how it works out. So what is the role in competitive strategy? If responsiveness is a strategic competitive priority, so locate larger amount of inventory closer to customers. So the responsive is higher. Responsive is little higher than expected. Then fine, go on with purchasing more inventory. Or otherwise, don't take risk. If the cost is more important, inventory can be reduced to gain efficiency. Because if the cost of the inventory, cost of the raw materials is higher, so it's expensive, then in that case, initially go for the reduced quantity of inventory. Don't take risk again. So produce the products, and then the stock, when the stock is ready, sell it to the customers. Then if needed, if the customer is demanding more or if more customers are asking for it, then again go for the inventory. So in either of the cases, now the suggestion is don't take risks. Okay, so what are the inventory drivers? Why do we need drivers for inventory? So for product desirability, responsiveness, supplying complete and accurate information, and customer collaboration, and getting visibility as much as we can from our customers. So for these reasons, you need to have the inventory. And as well as these aspects becomes the drive for no holding the inventory or purchasing the inventory. So product desirability. The customer decides for the product, and for producing that product, this inventory is needed. So go for that inventory. The responsiveness. So you have purchased the raw materials, produced the stock, and you have now sold it to the customers. Now the responsive is now like very positive. The customers likes the products very much, and no like they are referring their no like kith and kin to buy the same products no from your company. Now responsiveness no like is really no like it's a no like positive go. Then obviously you have to go for the same inventory. Supplying complete and accurate information. So this is nothing but no like getting the exact number of no or quantity of inventory, not exact, at least no like approximate quantity of inventory required for producing the products. For example, in initial stages, you when you're planning for a product or service, you cannot decide on how much inventory you require. That will not be the first plan. The plan would be how much products you're planning to sell in the market. So according to that, based on that, you have to purchase the inventory. So it is not vice versa. Then customer collaboration. So customer collaboration is you have to know get associated with the customer for a longer duration, for a longer time. So you have to retain those customers. So if the customer is no like mostly liking your product because of the quality, then definitely it's because of the inventory raw materials you have purchased from one particular source. So getting visibility as much as we can from our customers. So as long as you provide the quality products, you get a visibility from your customers. So for all these reasons or all these aspects, no like act as a drive for purchasing and holding the inventory. So we have still more demand variation, forecast accuracy, demand planning, and supply planning. So demand variation. So demand keeps on changing, right? So it's not constant. You cannot expect that same demand in the second quarter of the year or third quarter of the year or maybe the next year. The demand will not be the same because of no like growing population and no because of no like growing interest, because of no like varying interest, the requirement, that is the demand of the product, no, it keeps on varying, it keeps on changing. So you have to get to know the pulse of the customer and you have to get hold of the inventory. Demand and supply synchronization. There has to be a synchronization. What happens now if your products now when it is transported to the customer's place, during the transportation it gets lost or damaged or no like something no like something no, it couldn't reach the customer's hand because now the product is no more valid. In that case, you have to use the buffer inventory or the buffer stock. So make use of those inventory. So demand and supply synchronization. So always you should have a no the a limited number or a limited quantity of no like a buffer stock or buffer inventory readily available in your production house or the warehouse unit, so that in case for any reason if the customer is no like cannot receive your product immediately, you can send another product no from your inventory, that is the buffer or safety stock. You can take it, pack it, and send it to the customer. So lot sizes and order sizes. So lot sizes are nothing but no the way how you know the way you how you package your product, that is the stock for shipment. So there are lot sizes for no like each and every company. So one company may be no like one organization may
जल्दी
be
आए क्या हुए लेना ना
into, guys please mute your audio. Okay. So one company maybe shipping their products in 24 size lots. That is 24 unit lots. It means so in each and every in each palace they will be able to pack only 24 units and not more than that or not lesser than that. And another organization maybe making us say 36 lots. 36 lots is that's a load they can keep on the pallet and it can be shipped. So there is different lot sizes and order sizes. It depends on the customer's demand. So how much they are asking for or how much the market is requiring for it. So these also drive the inventory levels. Lead time speculation. So speculating the lead time, you have to adjust the inventory. Customer service level segmentation. So initially you are not segmenting the customer. Now you have to segment the service level as well. So how you are now giving the service to your customers. So based on that, you have to plan for your inventory. And network design and data accuracy. So data accuracy is you can't give an accurate data or accurate number of customers who will be demanding your product, but at least approximately. So at least approximately you can analyze or forecast, okay, these many customers may demand my product. This demand may come in the month of say August or September because that's a season time. And for that, I have to purchase the raw materials accordingly and produce the products accordingly. And I have to make it ready in the warehouse. So this is how you will plan. Okay, so coming to transportation, this is this is the logistic part of the supply chain. So supply chain is all the activities from planning to getting the feedback from the customers. Whereas transportation is it relates to the logistical part. The logistics means transportation, movement of goods. So it moves the product between different locations in the supply chain. It is from procurement site to the production, and from production site to the warehouse, and from warehouse to the market, from market to the customer's house or not to the customer's location. And within the production unit, the units, the products or the inventories being transferred or shifted or moved. Again, within the warehouse, the products are being shifted and moved. So wherever there is a movement of goods, you can just name it as logistics. So it's a prominent in a company's competitive strategy, and faster transportation makes supply chain more responsive. So when a company is making maximum efforts to give an efficient transportation, it makes sure the product reaches the customer's hand in time or within time. So it means they are logistically strong in the industry. The transportation part, no, the transportation aspect is very strong. They are the the market giants. So transportation is that's why transportation is considered as backbone of logistics or backbone of the supply chain. So when all the products ready, everything is ready, but without transportation, without movement, how the customers will make use of your products? Need transportation to transport your products. So that's why it's mentioned as backbone of logistics, backbone of supply chain. So what's its role in the competitive strategy? The company targets a customer who demands a very high level of responsiveness and customer is willing to pay for the responsiveness. If the customer is willing to pay extra, you can expedite the shipment. If the customer is not willing and they can wait for few more days to receive your product, then go for the slower shipping mode. Don't go for a very faster shipping. Mr. Nishat, Mr. Nishat, please mute your audio. So it depends on the customer's urgency or customer's willingness. If they are asking for no faster mode of shipment, go for no expedited shipment. And if they can wait for your products for no at least up to a week's time, then go for any slower mode of shipment. And another important factor is like you have to select the right mode of transportation. There are no like five modes of transportation. You can transport your product through air with no like with the help of commercial airliners, cargo planes, cargo aircrafts, and you can know like move your product, transport your product through ocean transportation. We have no like many ocean carriers are available like MSC, MARS, Evergreen, CMA, CGM. You have many, Hyundai. You have many, and you can transport your products through road. That is road mode of transportation. You have no like truck, container trucks and no truck trailers are available. You cannot transport through road, and you can transport through rail mode of transportation. You have no like specialized trains which transport only the dry products like coal, sand, petroleum, water. You have these no like trains, no specialized trains, cargo trains, and you cannot transport your products through pipeline. If your product is a liquid product or a gaseous product, you can now supply the products, distribute your products through pipeline. So these are the five modes of transportation, and there are few, no, like few criteria, no, like there are few criteria on which you have to know, like select the right mode of transportation. So let's stop it here because now while speaking about the different modes of transportation, I have to know like get into know like deeper explanation of no different modes of transportation, the criteria for choosing the right mode of transportation. So that we will know like discuss in the next session. So if you have any doubts, you can stay for 2 minutes or otherwise you can leave. We will meet next week.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, are you all available? Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am, when you're telling about the mode of transportation, you said about the five type of mode of transportation for the shipments, or it is
yes,
only three?
five actually. You have sea, you have
Air.
air mode of transportation, sea mode of transportation, that is ocean mode of transportation. You have road mode of transportation, rail mode of transportation, and pipeline mode of transportation.
What is the difference between rail mode of transportation and the land transportation? It's all both are same, or it is only the kind of the vehicle you're talking about?
Both road mode and rail mode comes under land transportation.
Okay.
So this is classified under land transportation, but if you take land transportation, you can further subclassify that into road mode and rail mode.
Mhm. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.